You know the old saying in Vietnam, right? 𝗛𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗬𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕. An inch of land is an inch of gold. For decades, that was the golden rule of investing. If you had money, you bought land. Period. But lately, I'm seeing something weird in the data coming out of Ho Chi Minh City.
Let me guess, you're seeing the money moving up instead of out?
Exactly. It feels like everyone is suddenly pivoting to apartments. And I don't just mean specifically for living, I mean strictly as an investment vehicle. It feels counterintuitive. Land is finite, condos are, well, they can keep building those forever. Why the sudden shift?
It is counterintuitive if you're looking at it through the lens of 20 years ago. But the game in Ho Chi Minh City has changed fundamentally. It's no longer just about capital appreciation, sitting on a plot of dirt and waiting for the price to double in 10 years. It's about cash flow.
So, impatience?
Not impatience. Efficiency. Think about it. You buy a plot of land in a developing district. It sits there. It generates zero income. In fact, it costs you money in taxes or maintenance. But an apartment? That's an asset that goes to work immediately. With the influx of expats and young professionals moving to HCMC, the rental yield is actually tangible. It's the difference between planting a slow-growing oak tree and planting a crop you can harvest every season.
That makes sense regarding cash flow. But surely the appreciation on land beats a condo. Condos depreciate as the building gets older.
Historically, yes. But here's the kicker, the entry barrier. Have you looked at land prices in HCMC lately?
Astronomical.
Exactly. To get a decent piece of land with clear legal papers, which is a whole other nightmare, you need a massive amount of capital. It's become a playground for the ultra-wealthy. Apartments offer a bite-sized entry point. You can get into the market for a fraction of the cost of a townhouse, often with better financing options from developers. It's democratizing real estate investment.
That's a great point. It's accessibility. But I feel like there's a lifestyle element here too. It's not just about the numbers.
Oh, absolutely. This is the societal shift part of the equation. The new generation of investors and tenants don't want to live in a narrow tube house down a dark alley anymore. They want security, a pool, a gym, and a mart downstairs. Investors are realizing that if they want to sell or rent to the emerging middle class, they have to buy what that class actually wants to live in.
So the investors are just following the demand of the end user.
Precisely. And there's a safety aspect too. In Vietnam, land scams or zoning disputes can be terrifying. Buying into a reputable apartment project feels cleaner, safer. You aren't waking up to find out your land is actually designated for a new highway.
That's a heavy psychological factor. Peace of mind has a price tag.
It does. But let's look deeper. This shift signifies that Ho Chi Minh City is maturing. We are moving from a land-hoarding mindset to a service-oriented urban economy. It's less about owning a chunk of the planet and more about owning a share of the city's functionality.
That's a fascinating way to put it. Owning functionality over territory.
Right. But I have to play devil's advocate for a second.
Go ahead.
This trend relies heavily on urbanization continuing at this breakneck speed. If the rental market saturates, which we see happening in some luxury segments, those apartment investors might find themselves holding an asset that doesn't appreciate and doesn't rent. Land, for all its faults, never goes out of style.
So we might be seeing a temporary fever rather than a permanent cure?
Or perhaps a balancing act. But for now, the skyline is winning over the soil.
It really makes you wonder what the city will look like in another decade. Will the inch of gold concept disappear entirely, replaced by an inch of view?
I think as long as the city keeps growing upwards, the money will follow the elevator, not the road.
Well, for anyone listening with a pile of cash and a tough decision to make, I think the answer is, are you looking for a harvest today or a legacy for tomorrow?
That is the million-dollar question. Or rather, the billion-dong question.